Hey y'all, Kerry here. So this is the results of the crumpled paper and the fabric that I dyed with red cabbage yesterday. So let's go with the paper first. So this one here was in the metal pan, and I don't know how well the camera can pick this up, but this is more like a teal green, and this here is more, this here is more green. And I think it's because of the, look at how cool that is. I think it's because of the actual metal itself. And I say that just because of the results that I got with the fabric. So there's actually a lot of these here, and I don't know if I'm still in frame there. But then you have parts like this. There's a little bit of purple showing through, and that was that's what happened when I was ironing them, because this batch here, the one from the metal pan, was really too wet. And so I left it under a fan before I went to bed. And they were just like completely 100% dry when I got up this morning. And in order for me to be able to uncrumple them, I had to re-wet them with a spray bottle. And just a regular, there's not starch in here, this is just plain water. Just a regular spray bottle full of water. And I had to actually flip them over in order to get them wet enough on all four sides, because like this is what happened. And I showed these to my husband last night, a different stack, and he goes, "Some of these are torn." And I said, "Well, honey, that's what happens when you get paper wet." And then also, if you see here, since it's the metal pan that I used it because it's rusty and I can't use it for food anymore. And so you're going to get those rust spots there too, which I think is really cool. And I've said before, but if you're new to my channel, I don't normally clean that pan out. I usually just let the color stay on the bottom and let it dry. But can you see the difference in those two? This is more of a white green, and this is more of a blue green. I don't know if that even made any sense. But then there's some purple right here. And again, I think that's because I had to get it really wet and the iron sat on there. So there's like some pink in there, pinkish purple, which I thought was really cool. And that's on a couple of them. But also, I think that was some stuff that came off of my iron from a different color that I was ironing. So that was the metal pan. And then this here was from the glass pan. And so I don't know if you can really see that difference, but this is more teal than the other one was more green on those edges. But, and then again, here's some pink, and that I believe was from the iron itself. I cleaned the iron. I was actually cleaning my craft room today, and this is what happens when I clean. I hurt myself. I have a stash of Band-Aids around here because it's necessary. But look at how different that is. Right? I don't know if you can see. This is kind of bluey, right? And this is green. I don't know how to explain this. I really hope that y'all can see the difference in the colors. But they came out really cool. This is the first time that I've done that with red cabbage. Normally, I don't really like to dye with red cabbage just because it really stinks up the house. And I don't like it anyway to eat when it's cooked. It's just icky to me. And what was funny was my husband was out in the backyard and I didn't tell him that what I was doing, and he walked in and said, "Oh my God," and then immediately walked out because that's how bad it stinks. But just so you know, if you've not ever dyed with cabbage before, it does stink up the house, and when the papers are wet, they will smell like cabbage. But as soon as they're dry, they don't smell. You can't smell it anymore. But look at that, though. Isn't that cool? And I don't know how well you can see it, but there is a little bit of purple in there, too. But I think it's really neat that these come out. You would think that they come out red or, purple, but they don't. That's science for you. DJ from Hither and Yon left a message on my community page on the picture, or not my community page, on one of my videos, and said science plus Kerry equals cool. And thank you, DJ, for that. Science was my favorite subject in school. And so this one was with the baking powder, and it was in a glass pan, right? So this one was in a glass pan with no baking powder, just the solution. And this was glass with baking powder. And this one was just metal with baking powder. No, I think I did that backwards. Whichever one's got more of a stack on it. Because, yeah, no, this one was the metal pan. So these came out more green, and also there's purple on there because I had to wet some of these pages also in a couple of spots just to make it wet enough to uncrumple. And I didn't think about uncrumpling them while I was actually doing the video, only because I had to be somewhere last night, and I was ironing them after I got back, and the house was kind of quiet. That happened because of the iron. I left it on there, and it was too wet. So if you're trying to iron your paper and it's too wet and you don't keep your iron moving, your paper will stick to the bottom of the iron, and then you'll have to wait for it to cool off. I don't know if you can see that purple in there. It's more pronounced on this side because there actually is two different sides. So this side is smoother. It doesn't look like it because of the crumples, but I think it's the grain of the paper. One side is smoother than the other. After you get it wet, it's noticeable. But these came out really cool. And I wish that I would have done this before I started my Christmas journals, because this one here is the perfect color of green that would match really well with the Christmas journals that I'm doing right now. There's purple on this one too. So I love the way the designs come out. Right, because you don't know what it's going to look like until you uncrumple it. But all of the darker spots are the crumple that's on top. So when you crumple it up, whatever the top part of the crumple, I don't want to crumple this. Yeah, and this one here is kind of white right in a couple of spots, and that's because I was dredging it through the little bit that was left on the bottom. But let me just get a regular piece of paper here. So when you crumple it up and it's wet and you have it sitting there like this, all of these peaks that are right here, that's what's going to give you the darker color. And so now this is the fabric. So I really hope that it's showing, it's my light. I really hope you can see the difference in the colors here. So this is what it looked like just plain white. There actually is a design on there, which you can't really see it when it's white like this. And that's only because I pre-washed my material. And then this one here was done with vinegar. I totally forgot to put that video up. So I still had enough solution left over that I forgot about it. The last time I did this, we didn't have any vinegar in the house. And so I told my husband he had to get some so I could experiment with the vinegar in the cabbage, because I know that since baking soda changes color, I thought vinegar would too. And so it's kind of a periwinkle. If I had to name it, it's like periwinkle. But you can see the design better. It shows up. And so I do have some left over. And so this one here was what came out of the sealed jar. So it's more pinkish purple. So when I was doing those, when all the other one was in the solution, I only put like maybe a ½ inch of solution in the bottom of each pan. And so I had a lot left over. And this is from the jar that it came out of. And I just kept the lid on it while I was doing everything else. And then this here was the Pyrex dish. And there's variations of color in there too. And I'm not really sure why that happened, right? Because this is a little bit lighter here than it is over here. Oh, you know what? I bet you that's where it was laying on the, I put it on the railing of my deck outside. So I bet you that's where it is. Because if you put something on it, it changes color in that one spot. So that's probably what that is. But this one was just the Pyrex dish in plain solution. And then this one was the Pyrex dish with the baking powder in it, and it's more green, right? These are so pretty. And I tore these off of a bolt of fabric that I had big enough that I can use these for journal covers. And this one is the one that came out of the metal pan. And this is more like a teal, but not really. I don't really know how to describe the color, but when they're all put together, this one is more teal, and then this one is more green. All right, and this one is like a variation of colors, but more bluish, right? These, yeah. So this one is more purplish pink. I love this. I can't wait to do some journals out of this. Right, because that's just going to be super cool. And this one here, I'll probably not keep that white. I'll probably coffee dye it and then put some lace on it or something. I got doilies. Isn't that pretty though? So I really hope you enjoyed that. I have a video that I want to do right after this one. Because I was experimenting with something else and it didn't come out right. So that's what I do, right? I experiment, and then if it doesn't work, I try something else. So I hope everybody's having a great day, and happy crafting.